The Mavericks that went to the Western Conference Finals last year, and yes, they decided not to bring back Jalen Brunson when they should have extended him before the season last year for $55 million. They took a chance and then lost him to the Knicks. And you see what Jalen Brunson has done. Then you make a trade for this idiot, Kyrie Irving, who has come out and said, you didn't give up a lot, but you gave up enough. Now you're going into the offseason where you could lose Kyrie Irving and now could lose your only first-round draft pick in this year's draft because you're an idiot organization that decided in the last few games of the season to choke, to not play, resting players at the end of the season when you could have at least made a playing game. And who knows what could have happened when you have Kyrie Irving and Luka Doncic. I think it's embarrassing. And the NBA has to investigate this because this has been going on for years. This has been going on. And yes, they have the lottery now, and it's been going on for the last 30, 40 years, the lottery. But it's become more of an obsession to land these top 5 picks in the first round because a lot of the picks turn out to be nothing. Honestly, you have to be lucky in the draft to get a Kawhi Leonard at number 16. Or the Greek Freak at number 15. Those guys just don't fall into your... Or a Jokic in the second round. Or a Quigley at 24, 25, where everybody was making fun of the New York Knicks on making a move like that and drafting him, grading him a D or a D plus in that draft, adding Obi Toppin, who's been a big part of this team, and Emmanuel Quigley. Those just don't fall into your lap. You have to get lucky. And a lot of these teams choke. They rest players at the end of the season. They don't think they're going anywhere. And that has a lot to do with Mark Cuban and not opening his pockets in the offseason last year before the year that they went to the Western Conference Championship to sign their player in a guy like Jalen Brunson. And now you see the growth and what the Knicks have done this year with a player that's turning into a superstar right in front of our eyes. So shame on the Mavericks. Shame on the Dallas Mavericks. And something needs to be done with Mark Cuban because Mark Cuban knows this. Jason Kidd knows this. Jason Kidd is a veteran player, one of the greatest point guards to ever play the game. He knows the game. He understands how the game is and what you need to do to get into that playoff series or get into that playing game. And to do what he did in the last really 2 weeks of the season is an absolute embarrassment. I don't know what the NBA is going to do with this, but they have to drop the hammer on somebody like the Dallas Mavericks because to let them get away with this is, to me, a joke. And we have attacked Adam Silver for a lot of things this year because he lets the players really run the NBA as a whole. LeBron James is the commissioner of the NBA. And whatever LeBron James says usually happens. So now you look at the big picture right now, and you look at the position that the NBA is in with this Rudy Gobert thing that's pushed to the side that the Timberwolves are dealing with. But now with the Dallas Mavericks, they have to do something to Dallas. They have to drop the hammer on Dallas because they don't want any other NBA team to do this. And if the other teams in the NBA think that they can get away with this, what do you think they're going to do? The way the NBA works and they deal with situations like this, it's a joke. And if Adam Silver wants to be respected, but not just me, but other fans that think that he is soft, they need to do something to Dallas. Because Kyrie Irving is leaving. He's on his way out. They just gave up not a tremendous amount of investing pieces to where this team could really be left backwards. But now you're hearing Luka Doncic might want to be traded. That he doesn't want to be there anymore. And that's alarming because you just extended him. He's your best player. He's one of the best players in the league. And if he doesn't want to be there, then what happens in this position of this organization moving forward? And Mark Cuban, as good as he is, as smart as he is, because he thinks he's so smart because he's on Shark Tank, maybe he needs to stay there and let the real smart people run this organization. Because what he has done to this organization and bringing in Kyrie Irving should have never been brought to this team. Never. Because ever since he was brought to this team, look how bad this team has been since the trade deadline. They didn't make the playoffs because of Kyrie Irving. It doesn't work. It didn't work for Brooklyn. It didn't work for Boston. It only worked for Cleveland because LeBron James, the king, was there. Because he couldn't mouth off to the best player in the league because he would smack him silly.